I'm back, by the way. Welcome back to playing Disco Elysium blind. Blindish. I mean, I can see the screen. I've just never played it before. Last time, we solved the ghost mystery. It turned out it was just a nice person making custom dice for role-playing games. You just can't win. Out of the rain and into the gutter. Interesting variant on our frying pan fire phrase. What are you doing now? Math. She looks into her notebook with trepidation. It's really difficult. Like, really. They say you need it to get rich. Better than standing outside in the cold, I guess. Oh, I found something while you were away. Dick Mullen's hat. I thought this would fit you. She gives you a hat, almost exactly like the one Dick Mullen wears on the covers. Like, thanks for helping me out. Not me, the city I mean, like a detective does. Wait, where did you get it? Just what Dick Mullen would ask. I got it from behind the curtains. I'm not really supposed to go there. It's a fedora? Maybe. It's the hat Dick Mullen wears all the time. You'll look way more serious with that. Suddenly she looks back at the infernal scribblings under her nose. Right, I have to get back to my homework now before Mum notices. Man, this is hard. Okay, see you now. Yes, quest items, yes. Is it better than my hobo hat? Yes. Don't get me wrong, reaction speed is nice, but this one is plus stats rather than remixing stats. And I could totally go for more encyclopedia points. On account of... well... Also, I look less and less like... you know, like I'm actually playing a bum fighting game, and more like I'm playing an actual detective game. I guess I could maybe unequip the alcohol, just to emphasize that fact. Maybe. I'm going to need to buy more at this rate. Really going through the booze. What were some other things I needed to do? Oh yeah. I wanted to go and talk to Joyce again now that I had completed the thought, and see if I could ask her about reality. Because it was some like impossibly hard conceptualization question. And I'm hoping to get some situational bonus. Because I'm never going to get to plus 14 contextualization or whatever. Got some more questions about reality. Yeah, plus 12 for completing the jamais vu thought. What times are these? These are unimportant times, detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled, a thousandth of a second too late. Too late for what? For the big time. Her eyes light up. There's a flash of teeth. The smile of a predator. No doubt what she's got in mind. You've got a predatory streak. All men are predators, dear. Nothing much to be done about that. It's all a matter of where you get to file your teeth. What's the big time? The revolution, she says. Ha, and what is this revolution I keep hearing about? It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next. Who gets shot in the head and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle. Would you say it was a bunch of apes duking it out? Why, of course. We're talking Duke Out Central. Full swing interspecies warfare. Intraspecies warfare, I should say. And the apes, were they evil? No, I would say the apes were neutral. Huh. think people are good deep down. I don't, but I want to. Isn't that the same thing, really? Isn't that the question this game has been asking all along? I don't know about that. She turns north to the bombed-out buildings lining the waterfront, then shivers slightly. No, the tiny apes are doing all they can to be better. It's not their fault. Who got shot in the head? Those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution. But the communists, they all got shot. She's not gloating. It's a relieved celebration. Oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well. So well one forgets they even existed. Did the communists and the anarchists shoot back? Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people. Truly a kerfuffle. It was a kerfuffle, all right, the lieutenant mumbles from behind his notes. Yes, the Insulindian deluge, they call it. Anyone else get shot in the head on the opposing side? Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse, or drowned. Accounts differ. It was unceremonious. Just as well, he wasn't actually the king, just the king's nephew. This had better help me with that statue. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad. Cowardly king. I prefer the term risk-averse. King Guillaume was nobody's fool. Pardon me. King Guillaume was nobody's fool. He could smell a PR disaster brewing. So he got out alive, and his nephew Frizzle got shot in his place. Him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kingsmen. It was a wild time. Who got the mineral rights? The liberals got the mineral rights. She looks up at the sky, then in the crumbling city, and by mineral rights I mean everything. Okay, and by liberals you mean... Liberals are usually middle-class people, detective, or the remaining gentry, the beneficiaries of the pre-revolutionary arrangement. Some were rich enough to stay with the Constitution, with monarchy. Big mistake. Others bet on the revolution. They were called the ultras, or ultra-liberals. They fared well. How did the liberals win it all? They didn't win so much as survive. We were the last ones standing when the war ended. Everyone else got shot in the head, remember? If everyone got shot, who was there to surrender to? To foreign intervention. The coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights. Wait, you just said the liberals took everything. The liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The coalition took the ground. The ocean, the laws, and the people. Who are the coalition? The coalition of nations. Grad, Mesca, Vespa, Messina, Oranje, and Sur-le-Clef, the armed centre of the world. They landed here and entered the revolution. It was the moralist thing to do. There is bitterness in her voice, tempered with understanding. She is critical, but ultimately understands the cause. Moralist? The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. They believe in mineral rights, and not shooting people in the head. At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of Revachol now, the coalition government. The rulers of Revachol, and also the world. These guys are strong. I haven't figured out a voice for physical instrument. It should be strong, but I'm incredibly weak and pathetic, so it doesn't come naturally. This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took. Technically speaking, you are a moralist. I don't think I am moralist, man. Of course. Not easy to be moderate about head shooting in your line of work. When was this kerfuffle? The turn of the century revolution? Don't answer it. It's a trick question. The revolution began in 02, on the isola of Grad, though by the end nearly the whole world had gotten involved. Who started it? It wasn't a who, but a what. Pandemic of Tsarath. A particularly virulent prion disease. Prion disease? But virulent? Well, virulent is deadlier. I always get it mixed up. Virulent is deadly. Infectious is infectious. Which the authorities in Grad proved unable to contain. Then Marzov came along and overthrew the government. So, topical commentary much. Not like the game wasn't already pretty topical. What did this Tsarath do? Made people overthrow their governments. Wow, really? Of course not. It was a highly infectious microorganism. Prions aren't microorganisms, but whatever. That destroyed brain tissue. The actual causes of the revolution were material. The pandemic only provided the spark. Where did it spread from there? From Revachol and Grad? Not far. The world managed to cauterize itself. Marzov's government was overthrown in 08, and the coalition crushed the Revachol commune 2 years later. It was the end. What came next? Why, you and I, officer. Our lives in the zone of control. Don't really have a good voice for Inland Empire either. It's too multiplicit. Something tells you her life and yours are not that similar. Maybe it's because she has a boat and you have that necktie, a pair of pants. Our lives are very different from each other. No doubt, but we share the same time and position on the planet's crust. That counts for more than you'd think. What is the zone of control? A city-state divided into free market zones under the everlasting interregnum of the coalition of nations, and you, of course, the citizens' militia. The clatter of typewriter keys fills the main hall of a reappropriated silk mill. Precinct 41. Chad Tilbrook presses enter. Outside, Officer Elfboy Williams slams the door of an armoured motor carriage. The zone of control is the third incarnation of Revachol, after the failure of the suzerain and the commune. What happened to the rest of the world? Modernity. They developed the marvels of interisolary communication, telematic milieu, radiation, coloured plastics. Meanwhile, in Revachol West, the aftermath continues for the 5th decade. It's blanks for how long exactly? 43 years. Hard to fathom, I know. What have we been doing all that time? The 20s saw a decade of urban war, west of the river leveled offshore platforms in flames. Still, it's regarded as an improvement on what came before. 08 to 19 was simply hell. And after that, the 30s. Things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself into the world's largest tax haven, with the international community's blessing. For the first time in a long time, it seemed like things were going somewhere. Were they? No, it was a market mirage fueled by cocaine and quantitative easing. The 40s dispelled it like a cold splash. An isolo-eyed hangover, you might say. And here we are. Welcome to reality, baby. From the looks of it, the 50s haven't been much better for the zone of control. You can see it in her eyes. Days slipping away. You don't seem to be thrilled. I've no right to be dissatisfied, she shakes her head. This shirt is Barbara Moskova. This raincoat is impervious to rain and is guaranteed for 100 years. My daughters will wear it. No, it's just... She looks at the crumbling tenements, paint flecking from the stone. Her voice is almost wistful. We could have had so much more. Every one of us. If only we'd played it right. What would you have done differently? Good question. What would you have done differently? I mean, I think I get 4 experience points for this killing more option, but that's not actually a good communist answer. I mean, 2 is silly. They did seek a medical solution. They found none. Prion diseases are often incurable. Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease is incurable. I asked you, who are you in all of this? And I asked you, passless detective of the Citizens Militia, what insight has acute encephalopathy given to you? Half-Life tells me to just kill more people. No. No. It is tempting, though. Fuck this rich tosser and a stupid boat. I don't know what I would have done differently. Then you would have died, most likely. Not far from here, maybe even right here during the beachhead, defending the coast the day the Coalition took the city. And the cold runs down your spine. Happily. The wind stops. There is silence on the dark water of the Martinez Inlet. Good. Not that it mattered. In the end, the Commune forced everyone to the barricades. That's enough about the times. They are what they are. Who knows, an afterbloom may yet come. Anyway, enough sentimentality. Is there anything else you want to know? That's all for now. So I got reality lowdown complete. Got a lot of experience for that as well. Anyway, I wanted to give myself any conceptualization boosts I possibly can. Didn't I have a shirt that's +1 conceptualization? Visual calc. Was this conceptualization? No, it's Inland Empire and Empathy. That's the question. Is it worth hitting a smoke for it? I have 7. Let's see. What are my current odds? 72%. But I really want this one to land without having to put points into conceptualization, which I'm not particularly interested in going hard on. Let's light up. Five to 6. That was unnecessary then. What is this? All of this? The scent, the sound, the air. What world is this? What world? The fading pearls of her eyes looked to the sea. The only one, I suppose. The world of matter and its pale antipode. Antipode, I suppose. I feel like antipode is correct. The camera of her mind glides over the surface of the water. I feel like that's close to the kind of voice I want, but it's also just too close to my default voice. The camera of her... No. What do you see? Great bodies of water, forest-covered surfaces, clusters of light where the cities lie. You've seen the montage, we all have. This world is enough, she concludes. A frisson lifts the hair on the back of your arm. Wind sweeps the surface of the bay. The wind is sweeping the waters. The world is a suzerainty of Revachol. There is a term of endearment they coined for it. In the DeLorean century, when humanity was high on this world, discovering more and more of it, these archipelagos included. What is it? Elysium. Wait, is this one with the evil apes? Not in this case, no. That sounds more like the Mesca-fascists might say. Petrofascists. Ah, I see, like petrochemical. Her eyes return to you. It isn't enough to call us all animals. Even animals aren't animals. What are animals then? They're like you and I suppose. Living organisms don't identify with abstractions. Elysium is for particular beings. Elysium. The world needs a term for endearment. I like it. It does. There are those who would call it hell. What is hell? A term of hatred that originates, like many such things, with the Mesca-petrofascists. I don't feel like I've got the whole picture yet. Oh, you want a picture of the world? There is no complete set yet, dear. I'm having some trouble reaching orbit. How come? Great things are difficult to achieve. For now, we're viewing the world from the inside, sideways. Inside, sideways? What shape is this world, then? We used to think it was a sphere, but that was beginning to look less and less likely by the day. You wouldn't know it from the tabloids, but the ORG nations have been launching weather balloons into the lower ionosphere since the 30s. Encyclopedia actually succeeded for once. ORG, Occident Revachol Grad. There's a steadily increasing trickle of images. Between the big three scientific contributors, they're piecing together a dark grey corona. Dark grey corona? Yes. Pale covers 72% of the surface. There are grey flares and prominences, even arcs above entire isolas. The images are blurry, but there was a sphere in there. But if there was a sphere in there, it certainly looks like it fractured a long time ago. A cold fear seeps into you. Oh my god, wait. What the hell are you telling me? You seem to be spooked. Please don't be. Her voice becomes homely, calm. Let a moment pass. You seem to be spooked. Please don't be. The pale? And what do you mean, corona? They say there is a rarefied envelope of matter surrounding the darkened disk of our planet. That is, if we are still living on a planet. Or to speak more plainly, imagine vast swathes of land disrupted by nothingness. I'm sorry, dear. It must sound quite terrifying through the acute encephalopathy. Even scientific positivism isn't entirely convinced about what we're dealing with here. But this is one of the great questions of our time. Maybe when they get the complete set together it will jolt us out of our rut, bring us together, however naive it may sound. A fractured corona doesn't feel like it's going to bring anyone together. Corona, of course, we should recall means crown. The world is a broken skull, is what I'm getting from this. You have misimagined it. I don't have the power to convey to you the effect and geometry of the images that depict our world from low orbit. It's like the crowning of the world. It's insane. Very disco. You'd love it. I mean, three is getting me points, but why can't I be a disco communist? What's so impossible about that game? Well, if you say it's disco, yeah, I gained 5 experience either way, I guess. See, everyone finds something worth holding on to in this world, however wasted its opportunities. The cold seeps into you. The air is heavy with 80% humidity. Suddenly, you're conscious of yourself standing there, on whatever this all is. Your arms hang down by your sides. I needed to unlock Esprit de Corps in order to unlock this one that I unrealistically failed. I really want to know what pale is. You said pale. What is pale? The pale is not, technically speaking, part of reality. Yes. The Lieutenant looks watch. Also, I think we've had enough excitement for today. We do have a case to attend to. Of course, Lieutenant, she says. Let's try something else. What do you mean it's not part of reality? Ma'am, remember you're dealing with a very sensitive and impressionable police officer who is still recovering from a recent medical episode. The Lieutenant's right. Let's change topics. What do you want to know? Anything? That's all for now. Lieutenant Kitsuragi does not want to hear has been called the Pale, probably thinking it will prove traumatic. Return to Joyce once he is not there and ask about it, or get him to step away for a second. I do want to know about that. It seems metaphysical. But the obvious thesis that this is an afterlife, literally Elysium, the planes of the Greek underworld, becomes more and more unavoidable. That some people would call it hell is telling. So getting volition high enough to almost guarantee a success on that one. Why is my volition so low to begin with? Damage, I see. It depends on... like morale and volition are linked. I could heal it back up in order to regain points in volition, but...
Still here, stuck in this damn jam, I mean. What's up?
You seem like a man who knows about drugs. Man, me and narcotics go way back. He folds his hand by his head and he's like, had some good times surfing the psyche waves of my own consciousness, you know? But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man? Do you finance other addictions with drug trafficking? Hey man, that's serious criminal talk. Are you trying to pull some sort of an entrapment thing on me? What? No, of course not. Then what's your deal here? So much for subtlety, but get straight to the point. Let me be straight with you. I'm trying to figure out who's smuggling drugs out of Terminal B. Lieutenant steps in. We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbour to load it on their lorry and drive to Jamrock. Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's heading towards a conflagration. Wait, then why are you still hanging around? Gotta guard the stuff. Bosses don't look kindly on my missing cargo, and it gives me time to work on my rhymes. Working on these rhymes clearly leads to muscular atrophy. Make sure you don't get hooked on poetry. That's not at all right. Who do you think could be conducting the drug trade then? Look man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You'll need to find another man to probe with these questions. It's not a lie, it's something else. Impossible to say what at this point, but there's something in him, some trepidation. Oof. Oof. I'll see if I can come up with some dope rhymes, but that looks like the kind of check that you're supposed to pass the hard way rather than getting a big boost for from completing a thought. That one is good. I wanted to go and check that door in the garden again. I really want to see if the person who lives there will come back. And then I can talk to them about the union boss and his psychotic... Oh, it's on the other side. Do those kids just sit in the garden all day? That's kind of fucked up. I am not pathing efficiently. Don't be like me, kids. I'm sure looking through the little coin-operated binoculars is probably a good way to get valuable points, but in the dimming light, some things are becoming clearer. Cindy's artistic impulses are infectious. That still only gets me to 8%. And that's with the smoking booster as well. Oof. Unless I can get some other big boosts, I don't think I'm managing the wall, and I don't want to have to spend points in conceptualization for it. I'm sure it's important though. Like, it seems like I could paint a mural there. Or I could... No response still. Oof. Oof. Let's stick with the plan of lying about it. It's currently almost 8 PM. Can I just steal those shoes? Oh no, there was money in the shoes. A whole 1 cent. That was worth looking at. This one's drawing a 5-pointed star on the wall. Oh, there was a lot of money in whatever that was. Well, I feel bad. There's got to be an achievement for collecting all the postcards. Give me a moment. An elderly woman is leaning on her broom, her knuckles white as bone. She seems to be having difficulty breathing. Are you alright, Nicola? You're still worried. It's very worrying.
Now, what you want from me, policeman?
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan and the residents. Who are you? I'm no one, just an old woman who cleans these hallways. Do you live here? If you can call it living. She spits on the floor before wiping it off with a broom. I have a little room upstairs, right next to the coal room. It's barely bigger than a closet, but I don't complain, no. I have my bed and my aching bones to keep me company, and that's all I need from this world. And all she gets, too. The coastal wind beats down hard on the coal room door outside. Splashes of waves make the balcony slippery. I'm looking for Martin Martinez. The cleaning lady smiles a gap-toothed smile when she hears you mention the name. Oh, you'll find plenty of Martins here, don't you worry. I sadly don't have the option of getting the joke, because I failed a logic check or whatever to work out that he was pulling a go-get-along weight. What do you mean? I wasn't joking. Pea-brain, someone played a trick on you. Martin Martinet is a name for anyone from Martinez, like Jim Jamrock or Raoul Revachol. Oops. You really didn't get the joke there. Wow, thanks, Rhetoric. And having low blue stats is punishing. But I suppose if I had high blue stats and low purple stats, I'd think the same. I thought it was obvious. Anyway, officer, we don't have the witness name. How about a young male in his mid-20s, dark hair, skinny build, a smoker on the balcony? Know where he lives? Yes, I know who you mean. The scrawny boy who's always smoking like the devil, right? She looks at the other end of the hallway. Pardon me again. Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying. You hear a radio tuned to a talk show and someone taking a shower. What's he in trouble for? No trouble, I just want to talk to him. Do you know where he lives? Talk? The clean lady starts laughing, but it turns into a violent coughing spasm. She squeezes her broom, trying to catch her breath. He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony, it's one of those doors there. He's usually home in the evening. Thank you. We should go check out his apartment on the balcony, see if he's home. I have a few questions about those apartments. You can tell me about Cindy. The artist? I've lost the voice. No! The artist? Nothing I can do about her, I'm afraid. She ruins the walls faster than I can clean them. Still, she leaves an old lady to her business, more than I can say for others. Tell me about the man who lives at the end of the hallway. Una de Reuter. I don't want to talk about de Reuters. Why not? Addicts, all of them. And sometimes I hear them screaming. They don't like me cleaning behind their door. Think I'm listening in on their fights. So she doesn't. Not after that one time. There's a that one time here. It didn't get physical. She heard something she doesn't want to hear again. We saw unpaid utility bills. Aren't they going to be evicted? No one likes them in this building. She shakes her head. It's only because of the kid they haven't been thrown out. I don't like talking about those people. She looks down the hallway. Is one of the residents on vacation? The mail looks overflowing. I don't keep an eye on everyone. That's all, thanks. She mumbles some kind of response, then hacks something into her handkerchief. Thanks, I'm off. Vito scares a firing squad for the rich. La potence pour les riches. Riche. The note reads, foreclosed by Martinez Realty Associates. Waves crashing in the darkness. A shift in temperature. The air chills around you. Dust settles on the stony floor. Rub your sides for warmth. A former architect stands before a slice of window, a room plan in her hand. A cold waves made the air in the building stand still and frozen, with temperatures falling down to -20. Her face is red from the cold. She's breathing on her fingers, clasping the plan. Traces of sadness are visible in her expression. The plan. Faint pencil lines on paper depict the same place, but a missing eastern seawall connects the room with the neighbouring apartment. Ideas for arranging the furniture have been jotted down. Look around yourself. It's clean and empty, with new tapestry embellishing the walls. A standard HB graphite pencil has fallen off a three-legged stool in the middle of the room. Shiver. This room seems unused. Maybe I could move in. What's up here? It's like all belted up. There's a clickable thing. But it's on the other side of that wall. Oh, someone has torn down the wall. Never mind. The correct way to do it is to go round. More meds, more coins. Old grocery list on the table, and checks. Well, this is a balcony door. According to words that I can only see because I'm outside. I guess actually those words would be on the inside. There wouldn't be much point labelling the balcony door from the outside. Yes, exactly. So it's game abstracted out into the world that I get to see.
The piggies have learned how to saunter up staircases. I didn't think you could do that with hooves, but here you are.
That's right, we've evolved.
I can see that. Cool mutations.
You know, I could just throw her off. That smell coming from a paint bucket. It's not paint, it's heavy fuel oil. Is that heavy fuel oil? He studies the contents of Cindy's bucket. Red dyed heavy fuel oil intended for exclusive use in government vehicles, to be precise. What did you think I was using aquarelles? Aquarelle? Sucked it out of a cop's fuel tank myself, back in Jamrock. She really did it. She's proud of it too. That's some clever cultural commentary. You ain't seen nothing yet, Piggy Boo. Catch you later, Cindy. I do like the giant red skull. The lock is rusty. You can't get in. Above, tarps flap in the wind. Forgotten hammers and nails rust. I forget that there's one thought that just lets you zoom out further, which I will say again is technically speaking cool as fuck. Am I just breaking and entering Cindy's apartment at this point, or does this just lead to a different corridor? No, this must be the coal room. Someone's been sleeping here recently. Cindy? Enough coal to last for several winters. Smells of chemicals, so it's not exactly not Cindy's room. Pour l'homme, labourer jeans. Yeah, I'll pinch Cindy's jeans. Time for some breaking and entering, if you know what I mean. Do I feel bad? No. Those jeans look worn. The wearer must have had an ass given to them by the mighty Lord himself. That beautiful peach-shaped man-ass has imprinted itself so deep in the fabric you can't help but wonder if wearing them would start moulding your own vague rear side into a more shapely form as well. I mean, it replaces my -1 to savoir-faire with -1 to reaction speed. I kind of feel like reaction speed is more valuable, but at least if I have to do any further jumps, I won't have to take my trousers off in order to do so. I wonder if she has anything to say about me nicking all her money. Hey, I took all your cash.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Is that bed in the coal room yours? Ooh, not only have you found my address, you've discovered my biggest secret. I'm a coal miner. It's not the nicest place, but I guess it'll have to do. It doesn't have to do anything at all. Nothing does. She looks at the paint dripping down the wall. Like me. Right now I'm doing nothing at all. Cool. That'll do. I sympathise. But there doesn't seem to be much I can do. The revolution, after all, failed. That isn't just a five-pointed star. It's an inverted white pentagram cradled in a wreath of antlers. The iconography of communism, in other words. I mean, inspect the symbol closer. The star and antlers was developed in the 6th decade of the last century and quickly adopted by Mazov and the communards during the revolution. Even today, half a century later, these star and antlers retain the ability to evoke hope, disappointment and fear in equal measure. Why is the star upside down? To symbolise the toppling of the old order. Also, some social democrats were already using it. What's the deal with the antlers? The wreath of antlers represents a natural crown. It was about building a society that could exist in accord with the natural world and at the same time above it. Why white? Because white is the colour of peace. What does it evoke in me? Oof! Gone. Gone is the glory of hope. Only the scribblings of impoverished students remain in dirty hallways. Well, you know what they say about the words of the prophets. I should maybe hit the painkillers just in case I run into another accidental oofy. Before I get to, before I sleep. You hear distant traffic. Night is falling on the city. A maroon glow of light pollution rises from the east. Breaker box is full of cigarette butts and electric wires. It feels like a waste, but I'm at risk of taking any kind of damage and just dying? I'm not clear on exactly what happens. Just the door, nothing for you here right now. Someone's growing rosemary, thyme, and cactus. It's the door to 29. Complete silence. Who lives here isn't home. It's the door to number 30. Voices from within, singing along to some buoyant dance track. Very, very typical of this game to give you a thought that rewards you for learning more about the world. Just involving yourself with all the little details. That's very much what this game wants you to do, so rewarding you for doing so is very on brand. The ones I have points in are lit up. I just noticed that. This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. Someone here really values their security. Number 28. This is where the cleaning lady on the smoker said the smoker on the balcony lives. Let's see if anyone's home. Knock on the door. No one answers, but I can see lights through the window. Looks like the young man we're looking for isn't home. I think our best chance to catch him is in the evening. He looks around, taking in the cold spring air. We should return tomorrow after we've finished with our day's work. How about 9 PM? Sound good? What do you mean? The smoker on the balcony, that's why we're here, right? Tomorrow 9 PM? Suddenly he's a little worried about your memory. Sounds good. Tomorrow 9 PM. Good, let's go. Damn, that's quite tricky finding someone in a big apartment building. Don't worry, you'll get him. Remember, tomorrow. He's probably gone for today. I forget what the physical instrument trash container was. I forget what most of these were, to be honest. Might be able to try the horseback monument again. I'm thinking that talking about that king earlier might have unlocked it. Oh no, you don't. Breaking and entering is my special. I guess I need a key. But getting down from here is a real pain. And I suppose I need to go and talk to our racist lorry driver about drug smuggling as well. If possible, I'll just pin it on him. I mean, if it's necessary to blame someone for drug smuggling, and it's possible to pin it on anyone, I will pin it on the racist guy. What? Finding the truth? Pursuing justice? Not fucking likely. Well, I guess I am pursuing justice of a more abstract sort. Oh, there was a shortcut, wasn't there, which I've now missed. F. Still at 58% only. Is there anything else I can get? I have my +1 from items. I have my +1 from smoking. Pretty sure I wouldn't have anything else with encyclopedia on it. I have drama. I have esprit de corps. Yes, I'm wearing it. Really? The more you ask yourself, the less you know. One thing is for certain though, you're brain damaged. It's serious and permanent. Oof. Ouch. And it hit me for a morale point as well, that always sucks. Yeah, like, if Shivers gives me cool scenes and Esprit de Corps gives me little policeman vignettes, then Encyclopedia seems to give me trivia, which is nice, but I don't think I'm going to be competing on any quiz shows in this world anytime soon. So, it's not something I'm eager to put points into. I mean, I'm not eager to put points into Esprit de Corps or Shivers either. For much the same reason that they're not very useful. Not quite at the point where I want to buy any of that stuff. Is there anyone who could be like diplomats into opening this bridge? Box of sunglasses.
Like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
Try the shades on. Abort, these are hideous. What's more, they don't even fit your face. You can feel them pinching your nose and chafing against your brow. Damn, officer, you look like a mega secret spy, very secret. The man nods eagerly. They're practically made for you. I'll even have them for £2.50. They're perfect for concealing your bloodshot and... They're perfect for concealing your bloodshot and baggy eyes. It's going to be very difficult for anyone to take you seriously with these things on your face. No, the lieutenant gently removes the glass from your face, setting you free again. You're definitely not buying those. You're right, I'm too sensible for those. Are you sure? But it looks so good on you, Stephen. You should try this through. You should think this through, officer. +1 electrochemistry and -1 logic. I'm not sure what electrochemistry actually does to my benefit. Rummage through the box. These are all boring. Boring third-rate ho-hum sunglasses made out of cheap Ceres plastic. The kind of plastic that melts in the sun. Those UV stickers are almost certainly just there for show. If anything, these lenses probably direct more UV light into your pupils than UV magnifier. These are all first-rate sunglasses, the man declares. Premium design, superb material, very cool UV resistant. These will definitely keep your eyes safe and cool while doing your dangerous police work. Again with the formidable conceptualization checks. It's just making life difficult, isn't it? Yeah, I don't care about failing this one. Whatever. No luck. All you find is this lime-coloured cellophane visor, produced by a bargain sportswear brand called Amphibian, apparently. There's a malformed green frog on its bent cap. Oh, that visor is perfect for you, officer. It'll definitely keep the sun out of your eyes while you're shooting criminals. This treatment makes bang bang sound. And all for mere £6. Kim, a firefight is something we should be prepared for. I hope not, he says, looking up from his browsing. You don't like it? Sure, Square, no problem. Let me give you some real shades. +1 perception would be useful. I can see why it's expensive, because obviously you'd want to be stacking perception for that difficult body nonsense. Although it was like 20 or something. Clearly there's some sort of bonus that you're supposed to get to that to unlock it after a point in the game, but... well, whatever. Found sneakers on a pedestal of speakers. You see 2 lowly defeated speakers. Thralls, slaves basically. Perched atop them like conquerors surveying the land. A pair of found durable wear sneakers, Ultra Series.
I can see you have a taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eyes off those sneakers?
Inspect the sneakers. A pair of found Ultras. The design is impossibly sleek and simple. A futuristic silhouette with a sleek monochrome colourway, a jet black upper and a silver-lined midsole. Those sneakers, mister. Those sneakers are the latest found sneakers. Super rare, super fine, super cool. Only £50. Only? That's madness. +1 reaction speed and +1 hand-eye coordination. They'd make you stupider. Wearing sneakers actually makes you stupider in this game. Wow. Well, technically they reduce your encyclopedia, which isn't the same as stupider. It makes you less of a nerd. Inspect the speakers. These once respectable speakers have been conquered, reduced to a mere prop by the indomitable found Ultras atop them. No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. The man points for the sneakers of the stars here. But I already looked at those. Then look at them again. They're premium lifestyle sneakers, officer, the best on the market. Can't I just buy the sad, conquered Samaran speakers? No way, officer, those aren't for sale. They're bad speakers, lo-fi socialist junk. That's why I want them. I think I might be lo-fi socialist junk myself. No, officer, you're a high-class policeman who accepts nothing less than the best. Lucky for you, I've got the best on sale. If I click this one, do I lock myself into buying them? Probably not. If you want them... But see, they are the pedals for my sneakers. If I let go of the speakers, well, the sneakers go. I can't buy premium lifestyle sneakers on the ground. If, on the other hand, you wanted to buy the sneakers too, I could maybe throw in the speakers for a little extra. 50 cents or so. Interesting. A classic adventure game style puzzle. Sewer grate. gateway to the River of Filth. And a crumpled billboard reading Samar and Butter. Visual Calculus 1. Okay, so I had some glasses that gave me visual calc. I don't think I had anything else for it. It's still only 28%, but it's probably not super important. What is Samurai and Butter? Whatever it is, the boy on the billboard seems very happy about it. Oof. Average roll, but I would have stopped making these checks if I take a bad... Man on waterlock. Evening, officers. A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed on a man stranded on the other side of the waterlock, and on an enormous billboard that has fallen down into the canal between them. His posture is relaxed. Despite his powerful build and the knife in his hand, this man resorts to physical intimidation only infrequently, if at all. First things first, what are you doing here, man in the waterlock? My friend Barry the butcher is stuck on the other side of the waterlock. I'm keeping him company, and eating his salami. Barry the butcher. From the corner of your eye, you see a man in a yellow shirt and grey overalls waving at you from across the canal. He seems disappointed about the wreckage on the waterlock, and the salami. The man in the waterlock picks the skin off a slice of salami and takes a sizable bite. Very good stuff. Anything I can do for you, officer? Do you know what caused this wreckage? I wasn't here to witness this, but those look like tyre tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil drivers in Rivershaw. The words daredevil driver sound ominous to you. Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here, especially a waterlock. The rest of the coast is closed off till then. Do you know what's further down the coast? Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Not much use to the congregation, though. There seems to be something wrong with it. Yeah, not really much else, just bombed out ruins. Can I have some of that salami? Ah. Healed health +1. What's some to, officer? He tells Lieutenant. Lieutenant ponders the officer for a moment. Let's go for it. Why not? He takes a slice of salami from the man and chews on it. Right. Thank you. What a polite fellow. Always got time for someone who gives me salami. Waterlock control panel. A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires dangle from the now vacant holes. In the middle is a lever. Beneath it, a small metal plaque. This panel usually closes the waterlock, turning it into a bridge that lets you cross the canal, but there's a crashed Samurai and Butter sign in the way. Pulling the lever probably won't do anything. Pull the lever up. Pull the lever all the way up until against the conduit. You have a soft clunk, and then nothing happens. Release the lever. New task. Close the waterlock on Wednesday. A spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to close the waterlock to get across the canal, some other way. Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday morning? Okay, so pure timing gets us to the additional areas. I want to say as if I need more things to do. Yeah, as if I need more things to do. What the hell? I probably can't beat Titus Hardy in a authority off. Can I just sort of pry the door open? The door which just screams like mystery box. Opening it would change the dynamic of the game, therefore I expect it to not be openable. I don't feel like I have anything to challenge Titus Hardy with. And I might not until the day after tomorrow if it's going to take that long to get the witness to tell me something useful. Which seems like the most promising lead. Maybe I should get like a second job that actually pays money.
Looking for something, Hunt? Huh? Coming to tell me to fuck off again?
Yes. You're a lorry man. What's his stance on drugs? Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body. He takes a long drag on his cigarette. Why not? You know where that shit comes from? Saramirza, Safra, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage. Racial economic sabotage. Listen, I agree. It's our responsibility to keep this poison off the streets of Revachol, right? He eyes you warily, not sure how to respond. This goes on for about 2 seconds, then... I don't know shit, and if I did, I wouldn't tell you. And what are you still hanging around here for? Most of the camionneurs have left. What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like ass cancer. There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby. I did see one lorry with the trailer doors open on the way here. Do you know what happened? Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved his country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Whirling in Rags when some Kip boys smashed his lock and took damn near everything. Lost his fucking job over it. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to. Serves him right. The man shakes his head, dismayed, furiously pulling on a cigarette. It's a fucking travesty is what it is. If it's not you, then who's running drugs through Terminal B? Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sileng, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well. Who's that? He's the Samaran guy who likes to pretend he's some kind of businessman. Recently, really he's just selling his employer's stuff. Stuff he stole after he broke the seals on his Humanox lorry. Where do I find him? Just follow the smell. It smells like apricots and oil when you're nearby. The lorryman lets out a raspy croak at his own sense of humour. Yes, where is he? Looks like I offended your partner there. He doesn't look at the lieutenant. Too bad. Sealang's usually a bit south of here, near the canal. You can't miss him. Just watch yourselves. His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He nods in a sagely manner. Then put another puff of the cigarette. He's your man, all right. 100%. Don't be so sure about it. Not know what Sealing himself has to say. Guess we need to pay something a visit then. Hey. My continued inability to put that guy in a canal frustrates me. Is this not Sealang?
Still here, stuck in this damn jam.
No, this is Tommy Lahom. You? Sealang. You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When you realise he's looking at him, his face breaks into a wide, welcoming grin. The name Sealang is embroidered over his breast pocket.
Happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool here.
What's so cool?
Everything's cool. The goods are cool, the customers are cool, the place is cool. And one more thing, officer.
From out in the bay, a cool wind gathers. It sweeps into the city, tugging at the textiles hanging around the stand. Some distance away, the sound of a tin can clattering across the street can be heard.
You're very
He makes both hands into finger pistols and fires a few finger bullets into the air. This guy is cringe, but not in a bad way. I like his weird New York huckster criminal attitude much more than the racist lorry driver. You feel a twitch in your index fingers. You feel a twitch in your index fingers. There's a finger shootout a brewing. Whip. No, it's a safety hazard.
No finger pistols, officer?
I meant to click the other one. Oh well, I guess as misclicks go, that was probably the least important possible time. What do you think is going to happen when all those finger bullets come raining down to earth? The lieutenant nods approvingly.
You're right, officer. 100%. No playing around. Strictly business. Maybe I can interest you in some premium menswear instead.
Where are you from, Sealang? Me, it's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now, or Evershaw. But you're not a local, are you? Very sharp, officer. I'm Ceres, from the Seagate province of the Ceres Empire. The apricot suzerainty, you know? Why is it called that? Lots of apricots there? The apricot suzerainty, the lieutenant explains, is what the Seagate archipelago is commonly known as Remshol. It's a bit of a fraught term, I'm sure you understand. No, apricots come from Seagate, the vendor explains. My grandma used to grow them, but Seagate is a shithole, that's why I came to Revachol. Here's much better for an independent entrepreneur. Less laws. Speaking of, why not support an independent local entrepreneur? I sent half my profits back to my grandma in CA. If it's for his grandma, you should buy a lot of things. -1 on this rhetoric trick to try and talk him out of his cash, because it would be mean to his grandma. I'm not going to do that anyway, because that would be mean. So, Sealang, what's your stance on drugs? Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin lives. Unless you're into drugs, of course, in which case drugs are excellent. Tasty, tasty drugs. I'm super into drugs. That's very cool. A lot of the coolest detectives do drugs. Sadly, I don't have any drugs on sale, or at my home, or on my person. We're looking for a lorry driver who's transporting drugs out of the harbour. He or she is in this traffic jam. That's even cooler. You're investigating that and all. But I am not a lorry driver, I'm just a street vendor. I don't know anything about that. But you are a lorryman. Another driver has identified you and your lorry. Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hater. This guy's correct. So you admit you're a lorry driver? No, I just said I work harder and he's an asshole. Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too, a little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream. So you forgot to tell me. Exactly, it's such a small part of my life. It's in the rearview mirror now. I'm climbing out of that hole with ingenuity. Stop squirming. What do you know about the drug operation at the harbour? Nothing, I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. I don't get involved with that crowd. And what crowd is that? Crowd, you know, the drug crowd. Oh, the voices are going. He doesn't want to talk about them. He's afraid. Who are you afraid of, Sealang? Look, there's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess. I've spent 15 years working my way up. We're buddies, Ceiling. Help us out. No one knows you. It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her, the way they talk about her. She's no lady. Is the lady driver the old woman back there? Dazed out, strange. I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone near her. I don't get involved, I told you. It could be. She was strange. Who are these other drivers who talk? All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now? I really want us to be cool now. Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos? All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos. Okay, we're cool now. Alright. Ice cold. That's capped off by a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses, detective. Both of you. You deserve it. I'll look around. Thanks. Find out who's the lady driver and where's her lorry. Oh, man. We don't stop from getting more and more tasks. It's such a well-woven world, is the thing. Every thread you unravel unravels more. What was the physical instrument for the trash container? It must have been like to open it with the pry bar, is the physical instrument check, but I opened it with the key, so that check's gone now. Let's go talk to the pale driver again. Now that I've got a reality lowdown, her crazy nonsense makes more sense. Or less.
What is it? What do you want?
What is it? What do you want? Alright, are you the lady driver? Did you just call me a lady, Sherife? She clearly doesn't think she's a lady. Don't repeat it. Well, aren't you a lady? The woman's malevolent cackling fills the roundabout. I'm a lady like your Gabrielle Bungero, only in dreams. So you're not the driver everyone is terrified of. I'm only terrifying to small children, and to those who used to know me. Why are you scary? People used to know you. Because they can no longer recognize the person I once was. And who is the female driver I was told of? How should I know? Do I look like I spend a lot of time with the other camionneur, sniffing around when I have my movies to go to? That's all I needed to know, thanks. Oh, she. The woman stares at you, her mind elsewhere now. I still like her a lot. Even if she is probably brain damaged. Yoink. I should equip this more often, since I think it only highlights bottles while it is equipped. Although 10 cents a bottle is looking less and less appealing. Can I sit down yet? I thought he left at 9, or is it 11? At some point he like goes to sleep. And to be fair, I should probably sleep at some point as well. Yeah, see, now I can pick these up. And I wanted to avoid the moderately difficult check to get rid of him. Is it easier in the dark, or do you need to do this in the evening? Okay, evening or night for +2 to this. But even with +4, I'm not even at the point of making a dent. What's flashing? Impossible to know. I guess I could go and sell some of my useless antiques. I have a few that are genuinely, like the gun. The antique rifle, I should clarify. Although, the strong feeling is that I will inevitably end up wanting anything that I sell for cash. Especially as I don't actively need cash right now, I'm just being greedy. What if I look at the things on the shelves? Knick-knack stand. You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others yet in bright blue uniforms, all as stern and unyielding in their duty. Try to find something pretty and cool here, then use it to win her back. Win her back? Yes, buy something nice, a figurine. Inspect the knights on horseback. Big men on big horses clad in lamellar armour and carrying flintlocks, the kind that would mow down a line of enemy soldiers in the blink of an eye. Point at the knights on horseback. Who are they? Franco-Nigerian knights. He looks at the dusty figurines. I used to be very serious about these guys. A long, long time ago. Inspect the blue uniforms. They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed, wielding swords and rifles with bayonets. Are these royalist soldiers? Which ones? Ah, those. Yes, they are. I forget his voice, sorry. I find the paint job a bit gaudy, but children like bright colours indiscriminately. Inspect the figurines in rags. This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them carry pistols. Some even shovels and tall sticks. Are these even soldiers? You're probably talking about the revolutionaries, yeah? Yeah, they're soldiers. Revolutionary soldiers. I think their poverty's been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win. Three and one. I wish it was more nuanced. As it stands, I cannot comment. Fucking libs! Ree! I'm going with 3 here. Okay, I don't like either set too much, to be honest. Okay, I can maybe find an interesting one if I have good interfacing, which I can improve by equipping these gloves. Did I add any other interfacing things, apart from doing a bunch of speed, of course. Pardon me, good grief. Why, what's this? A headless man riding a horse? A headless man wearing futuristic tracksuit trousers that say Falm? What is this? Oh, that's the Headless Falm Rider. Who? The Headless Falm Rider. It's an urban legend about a man who rides the streets of Revachol sporting a Falm tracksuit. As you can see, he's missing his head. He points to the decapitated figurine. 50 cents. Bargain priced. I'll throw in the tiny cap too. I think he's looking for it or something. That part of the story has many interpretations. I mean... the fact that it's so incredibly cheap leads me to think that it must have some use. I know that's ridiculous, but if it were like part of the game achievement or something, it would be moderately or very expensive to make it difficult. Whereas it being cheap is to make it so that you can get it even if you're in a desperate situation. So that you can complete some quest, perhaps. But that's kind of meta. Let's come back to this. Let's, with great difficulty, resist buying random bits of plastic tat. The boomboxes on the shelf look well loved and well travelled. Chipped, dented, they stare at you with the unblinking eyes of their tape reels. One especially catches your eye. Deep gold and amber plastic with a big old handle on top. A classic boombox that says, Stereo 8 approved. This is you. Gold and orange. A sunset suite. Just make sure it works before you buy it. Shopkeeper, this Stereo 8 approved machine here is the Harmon Wowshi W02, made in Vespa, designed in Seoul. Seoul, he says. Plays all reel-to-reel formats, 2mm, 8mm, 12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. I'll set you back 12 real. Are you sure this is all in working order? Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found sounds, and music from a variety of genres. Even though, he grimaces, I don't really like music. Could this device come in handy for my police work? If police work means playing tapes, sure, you can use it for that. Or any other time you need to play a tape. Well, I'm trying to find a tape at the moment, not a tape player. Like at a beach party, with sand and sun and seagulls dancing on the breeze. I think I'm getting a feeling for it now. To do the ridiculous karaoke quest, you're going to need to find a tape, you're going to need to find a tape player, and you're going to need to get those speakers that you can only get as an add-on to the expensive sneakers. Because Gart won't just let me do it. Theoretically, could I bring it to a beach party? Theoretically, yes, but we don't have time right now. It's generally murder investigation first, then beach party. Actually, it doesn't have to be a beach. With a boombox like that, I'll bring the party into the streets. You can play it any way you like. And I guess since you are a police officer, no one can arrest you for it. That's all. I will come back to considering the boombox. Sawed-off street light. A typical Martinez street light sits among sorted floor and table lamps. Is that a street light? Yes, officer, and as you can see, it's in perfect working order. His manner is casual, but his speech is careful, measured. He wants you to know that he has nothing to hide. Where did you get this? It was brought to me to be altered. He leans in so the pawnbroker doesn't hear him. We're not here to investigate the theft of city property. He pauses something like that and adds, You have to admit, it's rather clever what he's done with it. Let your gaze over the street light. The light pole has been carefully cut and the wiring has been redone and attached to a standard indoor plug. The light buzzes faintly but persistently. How much for the streetlight? 700 real. A bargain, I dare say. A bargain? No, it's not. He's trying to sweet talk you into buying trash. Even taking into account the risk of obtaining the light, that seems a bit steep. There's also the matter of rewiring. The most important transformation is the light's placement among ordinary indoor fixtures, which has adjusted its morphological field. The light became suitable for use inside the home just a few days ago. Why can I buy a streetlight for 700 real? What would I do with it? That's crazy to me.
Hello. Let me know if I can help with anything.
I have a fascinating photo of a corpse here. Oh, no, I don't like those kinds of objects. No sale. He barely even looks at it. Do you know what the tattoos mean? Aphotic paths? Counter-radiance networks? Anti-magnetism? It's darkness, that's all I know. Something lighter. I'll check my pockets. I probably don't want to sell the filament memory just yet. I feel like that's a completable quest. The shot put ball feels useful for throwing at something, but I don't need to do that just yet. The postcard notes itself as only having sale value. Let's sell this postcard and this antique rifle. I don't have anything to sell at the moment. I seem to be doing alright on cash, but obviously I'm about to take a massive chunk in order to just go to the next day. Although the game hasn't yet punished me or threatened to punish me for just not. Like, I could just wander around all night if I had a book or something to make the time go away. I guess that's kind of a lose condition, potentially, even if it doesn't start damaging you from cold at night or anything. Because time only passes when you talk to people, but night won't end until time passes. And no one's around at night. Eventually you'd just be like trapped in eternal darkness if you don't have the money to sleep through the night. And you don't have Anyway, okay, I think I'm going to call it here. Next time we might start off by sleeping to the next day. My voice is starting to go, so... Well, we might not. I don't really know what my plan is at the moment. I feel like there's, like, at once too many things to do, but not enough confidence about which things I should. Clearly this is a matter of needing to practice. Needing to understand. Needing to comprehend. Until next time, then. Which will be on Saturday, I think. I wish you all good luck and have fun.